Hi, welcome to the Prob with Rob. We're going to be going over some problems here that'll help you get a better handle on the order of operations. And to get started, let's go ahead and look at those rules right now. So first, you do whatever is inside parentheses and brackets. Next, you do exponents. Then, you do multiplication and division from left to right. And last, you do addition and subtraction from left to right. All right, ready to get started? Let's go ahead and take a look at our first problem. All right, for this problem, we have 2 plus 7 times 3 equals what? Well, let's find out what order we're supposed to do these in. Let's look back at our order of operations. So we can see that multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction. So that means we do 7 times 3 first. So 7 times 3 equals 21. And then we'll just bring down the 2 plus. And so we have 2 plus 21, and that equals 23. So 2 plus 7 times 3 equals 23. So this problem is 10 minus 2 times 3 plus 5. And our order of operations tells us that the multiplication is going to come before the subtraction and addition. So let's do that first. 2 times 3 equals 6. And so we'll bring down the 10 minus, and then the plus 5. So now we have 10 minus 6 plus 5. And our order of operations rules don't tell us which order to do the subtraction and addition in. We just do them from left to right. So 10 minus 6 equals 4. And then 4 plus 5 equals 9. So 10 minus 2 times 3 plus 5 equals 9. In this problem, we have 15 divided by 3 times 4 divided by 2. And so we have division and multiplication in the same problem, but that's it. And we know that multiplication and division are in the same priority level on our order of operations, so that means we do them from left to right. So we start with 15 divided by 3, and that gives us 5. And we have 5 times 4 divided by 2, so 5 times 4 is 20. Then we have divided by 2, bring that down, and we have 20 divided by 2, and that equals 10. So 15 divided by 3 times 4 divided by 2 equals 10. Now we have 25 minus 10 plus 3 minus 8. So we just have addition and subtraction, and those are in the same priority level in our order of operations, so we do them from left to right. So 25 minus 10 equals 15. We bring down the plus 3 minus 8. So we have 15 plus 3 equals 18. Bring down the minus 8. And 18 minus 8 equals 10. So 25 minus 10 plus 3 minus 8 equals 10. All right, this problem is 3 times 21 divided by 7. But the 21 divided by 7 is inside parentheses. And the order of operation rules say that we need to do anything inside parentheses or brackets first. And that's because when they're inside parentheses or brackets, they form a group or almost their own separate problem. So we need to find out what this quantity is first. So 21 divided by 7 equals 3. And we don't need these parentheses anymore because it's just a single number that we can deal with as any other number. So now we have 3 times 3, and that equals 9. So 3 times the quantity of 21 divided by 7 equals 9. All right, now we've got a really big problem this time, but don't be scared. As long as we take things step by step and keep organized, it's really not that hard. Okay, so we have the quantity of 6 times 2 plus 8 minus the quantity of 40 minus 4 times 5. Now we have two sets of parentheses this time, and we know from our order of operations rules that we are supposed to do whatever's in the parentheses or brackets first. But it doesn't say what to do if there's more than one set, and it turns out you can do them in any order you want. So I'm going to do this set first. 6 times 2 equals 12. And I'm going to keep it in parentheses this time just so I don't get lost since it's such a big problem. And I'm going to do this set now. 40 minus 4 plus 5 times 5 Now we have multiplication and subtraction, and we know from our order of operations rules that you do multiplication before you do subtraction. So we do 4 times 5, that gives us 20. And we have 40 minus, so we bring that down. And I am going to keep the parentheses around this just to be organized here. So now we do 40 minus 20, and that gives us 20. And I don't really need to, but I'm going to put the parentheses there anyway. So now we need to rewrite this problem so we can figure it out again. It's like it looks kind of messy now. So we have 12 plus 8. We don't forget this guy up here. Plus 8 minus the quantity 20. Minus 20. Okay, that doesn't look so bad. But we still have two operations, addition and subtraction. Now they're in the same order of importance in our rules, so we just do them from left to right. So we have 12 plus 8, that gives us 20, minus 20. Well, look at that. 20 minus 20, that gives us 0. So this big scary problem up here equals 0. So you were afraid of nothing. All right, now we have a pretty confusing looking problem here because we have brackets and parentheses, and the parentheses are inside the brackets. But don't worry, we'll work our way through it. It's really not that bad once you break it all down. So now we know that we're supposed to do the brackets and parentheses first, but we have one set inside the other. So what order do we do them in? Well, it turns out that it doesn't matter what way you think about them. You know, do you do the brackets first or do you do the parentheses first? Because watch this. If you do the brackets first, that means that you take this problem, 2 times the quantity of 14 divided by 7, and you do that first before you do the minus 3. And if you do that, 2 times the quantity of 14 divided by 7, that means that you do what's in these parentheses first before you do the 2 times. So 14 divided by 7 is 2. And we bring down that 2 times 2. So you have 2 times 2, that equals 4. And so the first operation we did was the division, even though we were thinking about it as if we were doing the brackets first. Because we do what's inside the brackets first. That's what doing the brackets first means. So it doesn't matter if you think about doing the inside or outside first, you get the same answer. So now we have this 4 that we got from inside these brackets. So we bring down the minus 3. 4 minus 3 equals 1. No problem. All right, now we have 2 to the power of 3 plus 9 minus 4 squared. Now this might be the first time you've seen exponents, which are these little numbers up here, but you'll remember from our order of operations rules that we do exponents before we do addition and subtraction. And we even do them before we do multiplication and division, but we don't need to worry about that in this problem. So let's see. The way exponents work is that this little number here tells us how many times we multiply the big number together by. So this means we multiply 2 together 3 times. So that's 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 to the power of 3 is 8. Now we do this exponent, 4 squared. That's a bit easier. That's just 4 multiplied together twice. 4 times 4 is 16. I'll go ahead and write this down here on the same level as the 8, so it's nice and neat. And now I'll bring down the plus 9 and the minus. So we have plus 9 minus our 16 from the 4 squared. So we have 8 plus 9, that gives us 17, minus 16, and that gives us 1. So 2 to the power of 3 plus 9 minus 4 squared equals 1. All right, now we have 36 minus 1 times 4 squared plus 5. Now we know from our order of operations rules that we need to do the exponents before we do the multiplication or subtraction or addition. So let's go ahead and do that right now. 4 squared is 4 times 4, so that's 16. And then we can bring down the rest of our problem. We have 36 minus 1 times 16 plus 5. So now we do the multiplication before we do the addition and subtraction. So, well, that's easy. 1 times 16 is 16. So we do that, and then we bring down the rest of our problem. 36 minus 16 plus 5. So we have addition and subtraction, and they're on the same level, so we just do them from left to right. 36 minus 16, that's 20, plus 5. 20 plus 5 is 25. So 36 minus 1 times 4 squared plus 5 equals 25. All right, now we have the quantity of 40 minus 15 plus 3 to the power of 3. And you'll remember that we do whatever's in parentheses and brackets first. So that means we do the 40 minus 15 first, and that gives us 25. Now that we have just a single number to work with, we don't need to worry about the parentheses anymore. So we bring down the plus 3 to the power of 3. And now we do the exponents next. So 3 to the power of 3 is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times itself 3 times. So let's write that out so we don't get confused. 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So now we have our 3 to the power of 3, 27, and we bring down this 25. Let's not forget it. 25 plus 27 equals 52. So the quantity of 40 minus 15 plus 3 to the power of 3 is 52. All right, you've seen me do some problems, but the way to get really good is to do it yourself. So be sure to do the exercises, and I'll see you next time.